the preliminary numbers for 2025 are in. It shows that compared to 2024, our overall crime rate is flat. And we measure crime in 3 different categories. One of those is crimes against society, which was up this year because we have so many good officers out on the streets, making traffic stops, looking for narcotics, looking for guns, taking those out of the community. So that was one of the categories that was up. The other 2 categories, crimes against property, crimes against persons, those were both down. So I consider this a win this year, especially when we talk about what we did with regard to the accident rate, with regard to community involvement and engagement with the community. We've got so many good officers on the streets now. We've basically, over the last 3 years, replaced half of our police force, and we are essentially at full staffing now. To me, that tells me we've got a lot of new officers out there. The vast majority are from this community. They want to get out there, take ownership, and keep their community safe. And that's what they've been doing in 2025. And I think what we'll see in 26 and 27 going forward is an overall reduction in all 3 of those categories because we've got officers that are digging in, taking ownership, and knocking down crime. Our department looks at all 3 categories of crime. I think that's being transparent and authentic with our community. Some of it may hurt because you look at crimes against society, which did bump up this year, in part because of our aggressive policing, I think. But I think that's true, and I like to measure apples to apples. So when you look at the last 3 years, we can say that crime's gone down a total of almost 22% overall in all 3 categories. When you look at the next 3 years, we're going to see a lot of similar reduction. Some of the stats may bump up for certain reasons, but overall we're comparing apples to apples. Other communities in Nebraska may not measure all 3 categories, but we're going to do that because we want to be true and transparent to our community. We have reduced crime over the last 3 years. We're going to continue to reduce crime. But one of the things that we're looking at doing is a few other strategies. And I think crime reduction is a police department's job 1. If you can't reduce crime and attack crime for your community, you don't have any business doing anything else. We're going to do that in the way our community expects us to police them. That's the way we're going to win as a group, as a community, because we can't do it alone. We have to do it through engagement with our public, the people in our community, the visitors, so that if people see something, they say something, and they trust that when the police department is going to come out, they're going to handle it properly according to their expectations. One of our pillars was visible patrol this past year. Visible patrol means getting out, talking to your businesses. It also means traffic stops. And the officers came through in flying colors. Our traffic stops are up 55% over last year. That means that we did about almost 10,000 traffic stops in 2024. We did 15,500 in 2025. To me, that's incredible because the peripheral effect on that was to slow people down, hopefully. And we saw that, a correlation in the accident rate. The accident rate was down 12.5%. That equates to about 246 less accidents that happened in Grand Island. That means that some of us may have been involved in an accident that didn't happen because somebody chose not to run a stop sign. Somebody saw some red and blue lights, they chose not to run a traffic signal. These are accidents that didn't happen, and that equates to at least a $5 million savings to our community in damaged vehicles and in injured people. So the side effects of the staffing levels that we have now definitely contributed to the reduction in accident rate. Since a high of 2022 coming out of COVID and low staffing levels, we really started to see our crime rate go down because we were policing in an intentional manner. We were interacting with our community to involve our community in how crime looks. But what you saw is the reduction over the last 3 years in crime. The biggest complaint I got as I walked around and talked to people was traffic. And so this past year, one of our focuses was traffic. What we're going to do going forward into 2026 and 2027 is we're going to stand up a permanent traffic unit. So our patrol function is still going to make traffic stops, but that's not their primary mission. But if we stand up a traffic unit, only 2 to 4 people, officers, they can deliver traffic education to the kids at school that are about to be drivers. They can do traffic enforcement in school zones. They can do traffic enforcement in high accident areas. And so we're going to continue this push to lower our accident rate, to keep people driving in compliance, and to hopefully raise the education of our future drivers with this new traffic unit. A couple of the other things we're going to do going into this next year is we're going to look at leveraging technology. That means drones as a first responder. It means cameras in certain areas such as parks and playgrounds. And so these are things that will offset the need for asking for more police officers, for example. And so if we can leverage some proven technology, we're going to do that going forward, because that reduces our ask for more police officers, which is very expensive. Every police officer is definitely an investment by the city of taxpayer money. And we want to make sure that we are good oversight, we have good financial oversight of people's tax money. The last thing we're going to do is we're really going to look at engaging with the community even more than we have. And so whatever strategies we can use, we have a community engagement officer right now, Sean Cook. He's doing great things. He's reaching out to the apartment complexes, he's reaching out to hotels, motels, the businesses, and we're going to see what effect and impact that he has in his one position. If we need to add more people to a community engagement position, we will. But we're really looking at continuing to listen to what the community is saying, to interact with the community, to go where everybody in our community is and ask questions, make sure that we're policing the way our community expects us to police. Those 3 officers will mainly be focused in the traffic unit. So they'll give us the number of people we need to stand up a traffic unit initially, which is going to be 2 police officers. The 3rd position ideally is going to backfill one final supervisory position that we need to finish out our organizational chart. And then we're going to ask for a couple other positions that will help support the police officers that are out in the field. Once we finish with our personnel ask for 2026, I anticipate, as the police chief going forward in our strategic plan, that our ask for personnel is going to be greatly reduced. Through the council allowing us to have a lot of equipment, we've added new radios for everybody. We've had some huge capital investments that the council has allowed for us to have. So that puts us in a really good position going into the following fiscal year, where our asks for equipment, for capital projects, and for personnel are going to be greatly reduced. What we're doing here in GIPD is making it marketing ourselves. We're showing what we have. We're putting on some new capital projects. Some of these things are going to attract people that want to be part of this police department, because we have good things going on here. We have such good community support. We have good council support. Who wouldn't want to come into a police department like that when you have good leadership? When you can go out there and do what you want to do as a police officer, which is serve and protect, you don't have to worry about the other things going on in the community. You don't have to worry about your supervision. That's taken care of. We are going to market, as GIPD, a better product in policing than anybody else around here. And I've said this before, but this is the best police department in the state of Nebraska. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the police officers that we're bringing on. The community is proud of them, and they're proud to serve for the Grand Island community. We started some really aggressive capital projects, and we're going to see, the police department and the community are going to see the fruition of that investment. And not only did we take one amount of money, which was $1.9 million, we were going to build just one building on this campus here at the LEC. Instead, what we're going to do is we're partnering with Public Works. We're standing up a police substation on the west side of town. That gives us a lot more bang for the buck. That's going to end up being about 1.2 million investment. We're getting a lot more than we would have gotten if we had built our own building. With the original money that we would have spent on one building, not only are we getting a west substation and a partner with Public Works, but we're also adding to and renovating our auto pound, the outside and the inside. So we're going to move our code enforcement officers out to the auto pound. That's a better place for them, going to provide more efficient service to the public. We're going to renovate the gates here at the law enforcement center with that money. And then with the money that we do have left over, we're going to partner with Heartland Shooting Park in order to stand up with them a dedicated law enforcement range. And that gives us tremendous capital improvements just over a 2-year period.